let's go over how to construct a kit. You notice I screwed this down. Anytime you're experimenting with combinations of wood, you want to test that out. So make it as easy as possible, especially if this is a new technique. Take at least some of the more difficult elements out until you know it's going to work and you get your technique down, and then you can go to more of a real life example where you have to actually secure this with your foot, or you could tie it down to an object if you have cordage. So this is cedar. So this is mountain cedar, juniper, and it is about 1.25 inches wide, about 3/4 to an inch thick. That was ideal. You notice that I've already primed the notch. That's important because normally your first attempt, you'll use that to get the dust built up, and then by the time you do that, you're probably not going to get a coal, it's going to break. So here is my first attempt to kind of go to the point that I've built up the dust. And this is about 1/2 inch wide, this strip of bamboo, and it's about 1/4 inch thick, roughly. So you want to harvest your bamboo from the lower portions if you have a choice, because that's going to be the thicker piece of bamboo. As you go up the trunk of the bamboo or the stem of the bamboo, it's going to get thinner. So we want the thickest portion so that it's less likely to break, and that allows us to go a little bit more narrow and concentrate all that friction in one area. So you'll notice this one's a little bit smaller, not much, but roughly 1/2 inch, in between 1/2 and 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch is probably going to fail, but it would be good enough to prime your notch if that's all you had. Now you notice this piece went out to the segments of the bamboo. I harvested it from the segments of bamboo, so I went from one segment to the next. Sometimes you won't have a choice and you won't be able to go from segment to segment. So you notice here I just took my knife and I scored that around, because that's what I'm going to secure my handholds to. Put your gloves on just to be safe, because your hand can get close to this before you realize it, and then you'll get one of those splinters. Those splinters could go through this glove too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this off. So I'm going to start off and just warm that up and try to get this to bend a little bit better. So I'm just using arms right now. I can already see it starting to smoke, but I don't want to put too much force on this. And now I can really feel that it's starting to build up some char. Now I'm going to start going faster. And I want to go until this breaks. Or I can't go anywhere. Seems like this is a better combination than even the yucca and bamboo, which is good because we have mountain cedar all over Texas. We have red cedar up in the north, which has some of the same properties. It just grows a little taller than the mountain. But we've got mountain cedar all over South Texas, Central Texas, up into the hill country out into West Texas. Out through the Edwards Plateau, all those areas. So what I've been doing is priming the notch on the first attempt, and then using my second attempt to create the coal, and that's been pretty consistent.